Hello everyone, this is Inspire 2016 with a special video about what not to ask the tarot. You might probably think that the tarot can answer everything, right? You just think of your problem and then lay it out a card and abracadabra, you can have your answer. Yeah? Probably not. While the tarot cards are certainly there to guide you and to provide insight into your troubles and also your concern, there are also just some questions that not to ask the tarot. And here are 11 questions not to ask the tarot. So first of all, if you have lovers, then you may ask, will my lover leave my wife? Any of these questions about anyone's personal life is not really directly related to you, and this can bring up issue around privacy and also some accuracy problems. And this privacy because you are dealing with someone else's private life using the tarot card without their permissions, and also accuracy because you will still be seeing the situation from yours or the client's perspective and not necessarily the situations at hand. And secondly, will I win the lottery? You know what? The lottery is a game of chance, and there is very little that you can do to influence your winning chances except for buying a lottery ticket itself in the larger amount. So leave this up to the chance and those little color balls that bounce around in the big glass bubbles rather than consulting to the tarot card reader for this type of questions. And the third questions would be, does my ex still hate me? So to be honest, hate is such a strong word, and it often implies that you are blaming someone else for taking out their negativity on you. And if you got the answer yes, your ex hates you, then what? What can you do about it? It becomes so disempowering, right? Instead, just focusing on the questions such as what can I do to improve my own relationship with so and so, or what do I need to improve within myself to create better relationship, for instance, with the other people. And the next one will be the fourth one, when will I die or how long will I live? Apart from being incredibly morbid, this is not an appropriate questions for the tarot, because the tarot is intended as a guidance, and there's really no guiding with this type of questions. Knowing the answer will not help you at all. The next one will be the fifth one, what is the name of my soulmate? You know what, the tarot card cannot accurately name significant people in your life, at least not that I'm aware of. Sure, it can identify what type of person is best suited for you, but it will not hone in on just one person in one universe of 7 billion people. I also believe that many people have the potential to be your soulmate, so why just focus on one person? And also some those type of questions like am I pregnant? You know what? The best way to know if you are pregnant is to do a pregnancy test. The tarot cards are not a proxy for a visit to the doctor, so yes, they can highlight if there is a possibility issue or concern, but go and see the doctor to get it checked out. Leave any sort of diagnosis, prognosis, or treatment advice to the medical professionals. Okay? And the next one will be the seventh one is, will my wife's cancer go into remissions? Or any other questions specifically about health and the health of others, even the loved ones. This is generally an outcome that you cannot influence. So rather than consulting the tarot card about what will happen, refocus the questions on what you can do to support your loved one through this difficult time, maximizing the chances of recovery. Similarly, if you require health advice, consult to the doctor, not to the tarot card reader. So the next one will be, should I take the job? Or any other should I type of questions. You need to take responsibility and accountability for your own life and your own decisions. It is better to ask the tarot, what is the impact or pros and cons if I take this path? Or maybe what can I expect if I do X, Y, and Z? That's why you are still making decision, not the tarot card. Because every human being has their own free will. Remember that. And the next one will be whatever comes out. Not everyone is going to agree with me on this one, but personally I find vague inquiries like this are very difficult to read on, particularly when doing an email reading or whatever the case may be. But why? Because we spend a lot of time trying to figure out where to focus before we even get to delivering any helpful insight or guidance about the situation at hand. If your question is so general and so vague, so too will be the answer. If your answer is very detailed, specific, and right to the point, and so too be the answer. So be specific and straight to the point. Where do you want to ask the tarot? So for this type of question, I encourage everyone need to focus on the area that is important to them, or to nominate a specific question for tarot. And this is very important as well. Just use the tarot card like magnifying glasses to hone it in deeper. And the next one will be, when will I get married? Okay, this probably isn't a terrible question to ask the tarot, particularly if you feel comfortable with answering timing questions or have a tried or an tested method for doing so. However, the trouble with this type of question is that it assumes that you will get married at some point in your life. But what if you don't? I recommend that perhaps the questions to something like this would be, what do I need to know about getting married? What is the potential of my relationship with so and so? So this might be more relevant. And the next one will be, will I win the court case? You know what, in most cases this is completely out of your hands and in the hands of the judges or the court system that is dealing with your case. You're better off asking the tarot with what you can do to improve your chances to win or to success, or what you need to know about the court case at this time. Tarot readers are typically not legal professionals as well, and are therefore not in the positions to provide legal advice. Stay on the safe side and invest your money in the legal advice rather than a tarot card reading on the topics. So I hope that all of these questions you may not ask to the tarot card reader when you have any type of sessions with one of the tarot card reader. I hope this video is helpful, and if you like the video, just click like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.